Well, howdy, folks. Welcome. Welcome to another day. Wednesday morning, the Nasdaq futures. It's going to be a great day. Good morning. Hopefully, you're having a great day. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Super pumped that you're here. Glad that you're checking us out. We're going to be talking about navigating the wild world of futures, how to handle it. We're going to be talking about ICT concepts, fair value gaps, order blocks, breakers, inversions, how to read order flow. We're going to be taking live trades. We're going to be doing all that stuff here this morning. It's going to be a great day. So really glad that you're here. If you're watching after the stream, you can jump to the key moments using the timeline below. And then lastly, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, if you're saying, you know what, hey, I don't want to blow my personal account. I only have so much money and I don't want to blow it all. Well, you can use the code DTJ and you can get 80% off your next Apex evaluation account, 30% off your next take profit or Tradeify account. You can use that code. It will always give you the most updated discount Apex or any of these other prop firms are providing. And you can use that code if you want to take that next step. Other than that, let's go ahead and do the most important thing we do every morning, and that is open in prayer. Committing this time to the Lord. Father, we just honor you. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your faithfulness. Father, I thank you that in our weakness, we are made strong. I thank you that whatever weaknesses we may show in our trading, Father, it is your grace that strengthens us. And we look to you to be our provider and our defense. Father, we thank you that you have created us to be more than an overcomer in Christ Jesus. And today I just pray for wisdom for myself, for everyone here, everyone participating in the stream, Father, that they would see increase. Father, what that increase looks like, whether it be in their mindset, in their trading, in their P&L, in their relationships. Father, we just declare that there is increase in our lives, in everyone's lives here. In Jesus' name, amen. And with that, folks, we are live. We are all ready to go. Okay, so let's talk about it. This is crazy. I will tell you that yesterday I did a PM stream, and all day I was waiting for the drop. I got off stream or I got done trading somewhere in here. It dropped a little bit and then it kept going higher and higher. And then I'm like, you know what? I tried a trade. I did. I took a trade. Let me show you. I took a trade right here. Boom. I took a trade right there. I got stopped out. It swept the high, and then guess what it did? Woo, it just fell. That was unfortunate. And I had the right idea. We had the right plan. We were just, again, early. It seems we've been early more days than not. So what is this telling me? Patience. Patience is everything. It is okay to be slow to make a decision. Not hesitant, not fearful. We're talking about using wisdom in making a decision on whether the trade looks good or not, or should we wait. The market then, right at open, at 6 p.m., just boom, just explodes higher, runs the highs, and also runs up, tagging the hourly SIBI. So if we jump up to the hourly time frame, you'll see what I'm talking about right here. We tagged this hourly SIBI right here. Okay, so not only do we tag that hourly SIBI, which is sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, we also tagged this one here. Okay, and that one's probably the more prominent one I would pay attention to. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. So we swept this, and then we hit the midpoint, and began our sell-off. Now, we are currently deciding if we're going to close below this fair value gap right here. Are we going to close below that, this fair value gap? We'll find out here in about 39 minutes. But since then, we've been selling off. So the question still is, from a daily perspective, do we expect prices to move higher or lower? Now, I'll just tell you, when we talk about candle order flow and how the candles open and close, a candle typically first has what? An accumulation period. Then it has a manipulation. However long, we don't know. It could do all this kind of stuff. But then we have the distribution and then the retracement into the close. This is the standard that we try to look at the market by: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Yesterday, I was basically 7 minutes early on trying to take the short from the manipulation, and then it crashed. So when we look at this candle for today, what has this candle already done? It already has ran the previous day high. Okay? Now, it's only a 11% chance that we run both the high and the low. But we've already ran this level here. So either this was just manipulation and we are planning on moving our way back up there, or we see this as manipulation and we see a sell-off before we come into a close. That is how I'm looking at this candle. If we take a step further and we look at a higher time frame, we are still we're at the midpoint of the week. Okay, so we've had expansion candle. We've had an expansion. Come on. Come on. Why is it not doing that? We've had an expansion candle here. We've had an expansion candle here. We still have not ran this high. We still have not ran this high right there. So when we look at a higher time frame perspective, I would say I would like to be bearish. I really would like to be bearish right now. On the monthly, we've swept the high. On the weekly, it would be nice if we'll see what happens with this candle. The weekly is the only candle I don't have a clear read on. We could still run for the high, for that high from March 24th. From the daily perspective, I see this as a manipulation higher to move lower, and just immediately following this candle's low is this large volume imbalance. Okay? So I'm seeing this volume imbalance and going, hey, maybe we want to dig into that a little bit, right? That volume imbalance right there. So we have some options as far as where price would want to go. The probability of running the high and the low, I understand, is 11%. We did it here. We've already ran this high. So I want to be careful for any move lower. I'm just going to wait for the confirmation lower. Okay, so now that we drop to the 4-hour time frame, we have a potential 4-hour continuation candle taking place right here. We have our sweep of liquidity. Sweep of liquidity right there, and a drop lower. When this candle closes, we would look for a 15-minute fair value gap for price to come into, and then a sell-off. So we have that in mind. Same with the hourly. The hourly has already played out. You can see the 1-hour sweep of liquidity right here. That 1 hour swept, we sold off right here. During that 8 p.m. the 8 p.m. candle, we would have looked for a 5-minute fair value gap. And if you look between 8 We look between 8. We have a fair value gap right here, a large fair value gap that we basically tagged twice, and it sells off to the low. So we've seen some moves already play out. We've had a sweep of liquidity. We've expanded lower. I like the idea of these lower prices down here, and the previous day low, and this volume imbalance sitting down here. So now let's mark our levels, and let's make sure we get everything situated here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete that opening day gap, and we're going to put a new one here. So we have our new day opening gap. Mark that up. All right. What else do we got? We have our high. Do we have, where's midnight open? Midnight. Okay, midnight's been ran through multiple times. I'm not very interested in that. There's midnight open. Seems a little irrelevant, but we will note it. Then we need to mark our London high, which I believe has already been swept. So London high and London low have both been swept. This was London high, and that was swept. So London high has already been swept. London low has been swept. And that, as far as upper targets, that gives me the okay to say, all right, if we've already grabbed liquidity, London high, London low, I guess we could say we have Asia high over here, but that's not really that big of a draw for me right now. I'm not really saying, ooh, look at Asia high. To be honest, I'm really liking the idea of down here. I think that is what I would like to see. I have everything set up here. Let's go ahead and mark our opening range. It's looking pretty tight right now. $30 points right now, somewhere around 30 points. Let's go ahead and say hi this morning. We got 1 minute, 44 seconds before we take anything. How do I feel about 930, the 930 model? As long as we stay somewhere around here, I'm open to it. A discount 930s, 930 models tend to play out better. So we'll take a shot at it. All right, that worked out. All right, so we took the 930 model. That is all good. All done with that. Now we wait for 15 minutes and we'll see what happens with the market. FOMC is today, so we're going to play conservatively with the PM session having a lot of volatility. We're going to look for basically one move and call it a day. Jeff, good morning. Ty, good morning. TOC, it's been a minute. Haven't seen you, or at least you haven't said anything in chat. Good morning. Larry, good morning. Alki, Ted, Sarah, Wilhelm, Violet, good morning. Victor, Tab, good morning. Stefano, Victor, Byron, Matthew, Tony, good morning. Morning. Yeagle, how you doing? Micaiah, how you doing? Robert, what's up? How you doing? Been busy, TOC. I understand. Yes, sir. Busy. All right. So for those of you that don't know, I have made it one of my rules to sit for the first 15 minutes and not trade. Michael, you're new here. Welcome. Glad you're here. What's up, my friend? Byron, I personally have not tried Top Step. I've looked into them. I looked into them a second time, and I have some thoughts on them. Nothing major at all, but I do find it okay. I'll leave this for you to ponder, and then we'll get back to it in a little bit. They tout how many people they send to a live account. That's one of their big. Yes, Apex is 80% off. It should say, my screen should say 80%. Does it not? I believe it's 80%. My screen should say 80%. Let's see. No, it doesn't. Let me fix that. I thought I had that. There we go. Let me make sure this is working. Apex 80%. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, we're all set. There you go. Eric, how you doing? Yeah, Apex is 80% off. But in regards to Top Set, one of the things they talk about, OBS, one of the things they talk about all the time and they advertise is how many people they have sent to a live account. Okay, so statistically, only 5% of traders are profitable. Yet they talk about how many actually make it. So my question is, why? I don't necessarily have an answer. I have some speculative answers. But I do know when you're on a live account, you can't trade multiple accounts. Okay. I do know when you go to a live account, all of your profit that you have in your pro account becomes your collateral for your live account. So let's just say you're $10,000 in. That $10,000 now becomes your foundation for your live account. I don't know. I know you're allowed to take some of it out and there's a certain threshold. But I think it's to their advantage that they take people live. So I know they tout it and it's a great marketing technique on how many they use, but knowing just the statistics of how many people actually fail and how many people they have go live, it causes concern for me. It makes me think twice about what is their motive behind it, because you got to understand they're in it to make money. So looking at it from that perspective, I don't see them that much different than Apex. And Apex doesn't even have a live account. They don't even have one. At least not to my understanding. And if they don't have a live account and everything's demo, they're making money simply on people doing evals. So that's what I'll say about that. We'll leave that there. Okay, so we've had quite the reaction. 9:30 model played out. We're going to wait we got 10 more minutes before we're going to look at doing anything. We got our monthly open. We have our new day opening gaps sitting right here that we're watching. And then this volume imbalance, which has my interest, okay? We've already, I don't know if we're going to go higher. Honestly, I don't. Okay, it's possible that we come up into here. I guess that's possible. But, I mean, I have zero conviction right now. I don't have any conviction on where I think price is going to go. I take that back. My gut's telling me lower prices. I mean, it's easy to say lower when you see something like this. But when I'm looking at a market maker sell model, what this feels like. But we could test higher before we drop. So it's not just, oh, go lower, so I'm going to hit short and hope that it goes in my direction. No, we have to time it correctly. Timing is everything. Timing is everything in this game. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just compare and overlay over our overlay ES here. And let's mark our highs and lows for ES. I do like the midpoint of the previous week's range. I like that as a draw. We still have sell side on ES that has not been tagged yet. So I want this. I want sell side. I've decided I'm bearish. I've decided I'm not going to take any longs. I'm looking at shorts. Why? We were looking at this. This was my reason for my short yesterday. NQ hit this level. ES has not hit this level. So this is, I want this to hit this level. And I'll use ES as my reason that NQ is going to run lower. That's kind of that idea there. That's kind of where I think I'm sufficient on. London high and London low have both been ran. And then we have our opening range gap sitting down here. Okay. Yeah, that looks attractive to me. Unless something else comes out, they may not run this level till FOMC, these levels here. So that I'm just looking for a trade in that direction. I'm not going to try to hold it for here. If we get that, that'd be insane. That'd be crazy. But that's that. Banana, what's up? In my opinion, the best thing to do is to learn from the ground up like everyone else, even if it takes 3+ years. Ted, I'm looking for an overnight PA and looks like ES swept the highs after midnight open, but NQ did not. Might be the draw for the afternoon. No fair value gap yet. There is two previous day lows at the CE of the volume imbalance. This is good info, Matt. Thank you. I don't think, I'm looking at the volume imbalance as a after news type trade. So right now, I'm just looking for structure that supports a downside move after grabbing a form of liquidity at the right time. And when I do vertical, I'm doing the y-axis, which is time. Is that X or Y? The x-axis, which is time. So I want it to be around the 10 a.m. macro is when I would like it to be. We're still waiting for that first presented fair value gap. We might get that right here. Let's just assume we get that right there. I don't have my coffee, folks. Give me a second. I'm going to go grab my coffee. It's sitting on the counter. There's our first presented fair value gap right there. We just swept these equal highs, the relatively equal highs right there. Market maker sell model could conclude at the CE of the daily fair value gap or inversion fair value gap. If we go below that, then we could turn bearish on the daily time frame. I honestly hate candles like this. I mean, why you have to be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Doing us dirty. All right, we tagged the first presented fair value gap. I'm surprised we didn't make a higher high. We'll see what happens. Nothing here is attractive at all. I'm seeing consolidation. I'm not seeing pretty structure. I mean, it would have been nice to be in a trade right here. That would have been really nice. Getting along at 9 a.m. or short at 9 a.m. right here. Look at that breaker. This is what I'm talking about, clean, folks. Look how clean that is. I mean, we could go to this right here. We could even go there. Look at that. Oh, man, it's those types of trades I dream of. I dream of those trades. Nice, clean, taps it, and just drops. Those are nice. I like those. 56 points. That's what I want. I want it to be like that. That's what I want. Okay, while we're sitting here waiting, let's go ahead and do our daily. Who knows what our daily is? What do we do? Who can tell me what I'm about to do? Let's see if it's become somewhat of a routine. I've been doing it every day. That's right, Byron. Affirmations. I got a good one today. Today came from my quiet time this morning. Oh, I got one for tomorrow. I already have one for tomorrow. That one's going to be good too. Oh, I haven't uploaded it yet. Give me a second. I forgot. Give me a second. 1 minuto. Okay. Thank you, Philip. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's take a look at it here today, folks. Here's our affirmation for today, May 7th. I don't chase green. I don't fight red. I follow my rules. I trust my edge. And I protect my peace. I don't chase green. I don't fight red. I follow my rules. I trust my edge. It kind of has a little bit of rhyme until the last line. I didn't mean to rhyme that either. All right, what do I mean? Don't chase green. I'm not trying to get more money. I don't fight red. I'm not trying to get out of the red if I have losses. I follow my rules. We trust the process and we protect the peace the Lord's given us. Okay? If we don't do the first two, we lose our peace. We get on edge, and then we start fighting red. We start chasing green, and that leads to destruction. Okay? So I'm excited about tomorrow's ones too. That one was from a quiet time. That was from one of my quiet times this morning. So I'm a poet and didn't even know it. How convenient would that be if everything you said just had a rhyme to it? You would be the most famous speaker of all time. Everybody would want to listen to you because you would sound so beautiful all the time. People would be enamored. We got to follow the rules today, folks. I made a post on X yesterday, and it's about when discipline doesn't work. And we're waiting here, but we're talking about trading psychology. How many of you had a plan, followed your plan, you waited, you did everything right, but the market didn't reward you? The market took something away from you. Let's say you had a loss, or maybe you had a break-even trade. You did everything right. Right? You did everything right. Whoa, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. We're waiting. We're waiting. If this goes to a short, if we close below this first presented fair value gap, I'll take a short. I will go short right there. I'm going to take it now. All right. I only got 10 handles out of that, but it was just moving too quick, and I knew it was going to run, so I just took 10 handles and got it in and out. I mean, I was in that trade for 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds. So no trade there, unfortunately. I like the direction it's going. Let's see if it can continue lower. We have this breaker right here. I'm not a fan of it. I really don't like how we have this right here. I would have preferred it closing like right here and going short right there, but we can't go short now. I can't do that. We already swept the low. And we have an SMT right now. We have an SMT right here, okay, on ES and NQ, okay. ES made a higher low, NQ made a lower low, So now that we have an SMT, I can't just go short right here. I need ES to also make that lower low. And then we could potentially look for price to come back up into this breaker area, and then we can look at going short. Okay. FX, I mean, I'm just looking for a small win. We've gotten two. We've gotten the 930 model, and then we just got that quick scalp to that swing low. I'm changing my bracket orders on TradingView to 20 points. So it will give me a 20-point stop loss and a 20-point take profit. Yasmina, thank you. I appreciate it. Glad you're here. Yeah, there is a breaker. It didn't quite reach the bodies. It did reach the wicks. Right there. So a breaker did play out. I will admit, Ted, I was not paying close enough attention to see this. I did not. That's my fault. That actually looks decent. But the way it played out, just I wouldn't have wanted to be in there anyway. That flashed up there. It probably would have stopped me out if I got in this trade. If I had a maybe not. If I would got in it on this first wick right here at 944, I wasn't trading. That's why I didn't see it, because it was 944 and I didn't start looking for a setup till 945. Roberto, 930 model is a model that I share inside the Purpose Driven Trader Academy to those that have taken that next step to be a part of this DTJ community. It's not a get rich quick strategy, but it's a very black and white model. It's just you click the button and you exit out of the trade if it doesn't hit within a certain period of time. And it has about a 70% win rate. And it's part of the course material that I share inside the Purpose Driven Trader Academy. Every other model that I teach, I share on stream. That's the only one I don't. First presented fair value gap is still being respected. We're at the midpoint. Let's see how it plays out here. We still got about 5 minutes till 10 o'clock. Yes, David, I have a few settings. If you look at TradingView, on the TradingView screen, you'll see this ATM on the top right here. And then on the right, you'll see the drop down right there. You can create your custom bracket orders. So I have different bracket orders based on different markets and circumstances. I have a 10-point, 20-point. I have my 930 model plus regular 930. I have a 40-point and then a 25-point stop loss. They also are the same target profits. Same numbers. All right, so looking at the 5-minute chart, I am waiting. We're going to wait for this order block, for an order block. If we're going to move higher, I need to see this 5-minute order block right here. This down close candle, I need that to turn into an order block. If we get that, we also have a bullish breaker at the same time. Okay, we also have a bullish breaker at the same time. I'm not a fan of going long, but we do have liquidity here. We have low resistance, relatively equal highs sitting right here. We will just see what the market wants to do. Right now, the reason why I'm talking that way is we have an SMT on ES. So ES did not make a lower low. NQ did. And if we start moving, that's a signature in price that says we could see a reversal. How much of a reversal? Or at least temporarily. At least maybe enough to get 20, 30 handles. So that's what we're gonna look for to see if anything suggests that. I'm removing that one breaker that we had on there, Ted. Reclaim first presented fair value gap, yes. Explain the breaker, Rixie. The breaker is a model I teach. I have a few videos dedicated to understanding that. The short answer is, when you're looking for a breaker, we're looking for a high, low, higher high. We're looking for that higher high, then price to move below that low, sitting right here. Once it moves below that low, we want it to come back up to that low right there and then sell off. And our entry is right here. That's our entry. Because this is the breaker, and we want to take the entry right there. That's the short answer. And then I could flip this upside down and it would be the same thing bullish wise. Yes, 945 is the bullish breaker. It's technically I'm gonna do the 5-minute bullish candle right there. That's what it would be. It looks decent. I'm staying on the 5-minute till we close. That gives me confirmation that we've closed. I really want to see us close above this down close candle in the next 16 seconds. And then that's also going to be 10 o'clock. So I have a new 4-hour candle. All right, so there we go. Really, what I would be looking at is price to wick down into this fair value gap to go long. That's what I would like. I'm going to take an entry there. We'll see if it wants to hold. I have a 20-point stop loss. I probably will extend that to 30 right below this down close candle right here at 953. And we're going to see if we can get price to at least move up to these highs. That will be a 40-point move if it hits. ES did already run its high. My entry is at 19,921. You bet, my friend. I'm not a fan of this consolidating here. We really need to expand higher right now, or this is a sign of it kind of rolling over. How low it wants to go, I don't know. Midpoint equilibrium is just below the fair value gap, and that's right where my stop's at, or right above where my stop's at. So if we're going to drop, or my hope is that we only tag the equilibrium of this small range right here. We tag it and then move higher. But I really don't want to see it drop anymore. Personally, that's really, I don't like seeing that. I think what I want to do is, because of how bullish or how much stronger ES looks, I think I want to take the trade until we hit this high on ES, meaning I don't think I'm going to sell it at the London high at 961. I don't want to sell it here. ES is just a lot stronger. So I might wait until we hit this liquidity point on ES if we can get up there. But we got to get up there. We got to start pushing higher. We can't keep doing this fake out, breakout crap. I want to see a reaction right here. Really strong and aggressive candle. That's what I want to see. We just hit the midpoint of that fair value gap. Not only that, look at this down close candle right here and look at the wicks high. This wick right here at 953. That wick tagged this wick. The overlap, it's almost perfect. It's like by a tick or two. So seeing this makes me go, all right, I like this. Now this next candle needs to be aggressive for it to play out the way I want it to. If it doesn't, then I might look at cutting this trade short. Here's the wick high. There's the wick low. And it tagged it and then it moved higher. So I want it to close above this. Pretty close. We should get an expansion candle here. That's what we want to see. I'm going to move this up, but I'm watching ES to see if ES is going to come with it. I really needed to close above this range. I'm not excited about it closing inside this range. Because we ran that high, I'm going to protect my position and move my stop to break even. I don't want to lose any of my previous profits because of a rogue candle. And if it comes all the way back down there, look at that, Brett. That's horrible. I don't like that at all. So my stop's at break even. It's now a free trade, risk-free trade for me, and we're gonna let this play out with no emotions attached to it. If I lose all my profits, I lose all my profits. But I'm doing this for the principle that we see a breaker, we have the right time. It's 10 a.m. So we should see an expansion. We should see an expansion, hopefully, to at least this swing high right here at 853. And that's what I want to see. So we need to see this candle close outside of this range if we're going to have any shot. I don't like these wicky candles. I need a full-bodied freaking candle that closes above it all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. That's what I want. We need to get that. The next thing we need is a close above that fair value gap right here. Okay? That's a decent close higher. Gonna be patient, just let this play out. Again, you could close your trade, secure your profit right here if you wanted to. I'm willing to risk a break-even trade for a move higher. We're in different spots. You might not be in the spot where you want to risk that. So if you're not in that spot, close your trade. Because we did sweep this high. This is Trade-of-8. My executions are on Trade-of-8. My analysis is done on TradingView. ES just hit this level here. That's not good. We just tagged London low during the market session. I may consider closing this now, actually. We don't even have a fair value gap in any of this. Son of a gun. Nope, we're going to let it play out like I planned. We're going to let it play out. We already faked a move lower. I don't know why we'd want to try to fake it again. So we're going to let this play out. I may take profit at this high here. It's probably not a bad idea to close. I might have to here. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Worthy is your name. Oh, come on. Give it to me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and close it. You can't let 20 points, 30 points run against you. You can't. And it probably is going to run higher. See what I mean? It does that all the time. We're still inside that fair value gap. We still haven't closed outside of it. We are 3 for 3 today. We are 3 for 3. Patient. I mean, it worked out great. I want to go back to what I was talking about today. What happened today? Today, we were disciplined. Today, we followed our rules. Today, we were rewarded, or at least I was, for following my rules. Feels great. Honestly, it really feels amazing to follow the rules, to follow the plan, to execute, and to see a trade play out. That's amazing. But what happens when it doesn't reward you? What happens when it's a loser? What happens when it fails? What happens when it goes against you? I want to talk about that today because while today was great, we got 3 wins. We were 3 for 3. It doesn't happen that way. The market doesn't always give you the perfect trade, or it doesn't play out the way it should when you follow your rules and you follow your model. So my question to you is, what is the little voice inside your head saying to you when it doesn't play out, when you followed your rules, when you did all the stuff you're supposed to and it didn't play out? What is that little voice saying? Seriously, ask yourself this question. What is that little voice saying? Because I can tell you what that little voice inside my head says. I can tell you that undoubtedly what it says. Here's what it says. If sticking to the plan doesn't work, Tyler, maybe you should take control. You should do more. Maybe you should try. Maybe you have the insight for your speculative nature to be able to know when price is going to go higher or lower. You should just do it. Who knows? How can you really trust a model and the plan when it doesn't work out? You've taken trades before. You've taken speculative trades before, and you've won handsomely. We call that, or I call that, emotional bait. It is the carrot hanging right in front of you, trying to grab your attention, to persuade you to get emotional, to do things based on how you feel, because we always like to do things how we feel. It feels good. It feels right. So therefore, I'm justified in what I'm going to do it. And if you're not careful, your brain will bargain with you, your own brain. You will bargain with yourself. You'll say things like, it's fine to break your rules just this once. It's fine to break your rules this time just to get something back. It didn't work this time, so maybe if you get in 10 minutes later without any entry, but it looks like it's going to go, let's go ahead and let's do it. You start negotiating with yourself. That's not trading. That's not trading. That's called emotional gambling. That's what gamblers do. That's what people that are addicted to gambling do. They justify their actions, or I should say their mind begins to bargain with them to justify why they should do something that goes against their rules and their plan because they feel a certain way. Now, let me tell you what real growth is. Here is real, true, undeniable growth in your trading journey. Real growth is when you can recognize the poke, your brain. Hey, oh, it didn't work out. Hey, you should go for another one. Just try it again. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Just size up a little bit and get back what you lost. That's a poke. I'm calling it a poke. It's a test. And here's the thing. When you can recognize it and you can see it as a potential test, an opportunity to prove to yourself that you have self-control, it's a sign that you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things. Your brain is going to try to sabotage you. The way you feel is going to try to sabotage your success at being disciplined. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say your success by winning a trade. I said your success by being disciplined. Because it takes a disciplined trader to see sustained success. Okay? So, instead of chasing, we shrink our size. We say to ourselves, you know what? No, I'm going to even take a smaller trade next time. We stay selective. We say, no, I'm going to only follow my rules. I'm only going to do, here's my checklist right here, or whatever it is right in front of me. This stuff has to happen before I take the next trade. You leave with a quiet win, a quiet loss, even when your P&L says meh. You know what I'm talking about, meh. That meh feeling when you look at your account and it only says $45. You go, meh. You go, oh, that could have been so much more. Oh, that emotional tug. Oh, I've seen my account be up $1,000, $45. Ugh, meh. It's those types of days that end small, where you chose to leave that P&L at $45 or a $25 loss or whatever small loss you had. It's those days that when you compound on each other, you start seeing more and more profits building on each other. Because whether it's once, twice, 3 times a week, who knows, that you start seeing those bigger wins because you followed the rules, you're able to actually build sustained success. Because if you really think about it, if you really look back at that little voice that's trying to poke at you, when you give in to that voice, can you honestly tell me that you ended well? Can you honestly tell me that 75% of the time it was a good decision? Heck, 50%, 40%, I would say less than 50% for sure. Was it ever a good decision? So, if it has such a low probability, why not eliminate it altogether? So, I want this to be your anchor this week. I want this to be your anchor. I want this to be your, let's call it, affirmation that you say to yourself in regards to that poke that you hear yourself say all the time. Just because you're being poked, just because you're being egged on by your own thoughts, doesn't mean you need to respond to it. Doesn't mean you need to give into it. And every time you say, no, I'm not going to do that, is another time you add to that strength that you're building to be disciplined, to see sustained success. This is something that I've been mulling over for a while, and I think it's very key to be able to go from an average trader, a break-even trader, to now becoming profitable, to now getting to that next level. So my question to you is, are you willing to do what it takes? Because today was great. Today was easy. Today was, I didn't have a meh. I didn't have a, oh, your trading plan didn't play out. It did. 3 times in a row it did. I was great. No issues. It's easy today. But what happens when you have that loss? When you followed your rules? Those are the days where you are really strengthening the muscles of growth, and you have your greatest opportunities to respond. You're welcome. Signing off. See ya. Hopefully that gives you guys clarity. I'm calling it the poke. We're going to call it the poke. Who's getting poked right now? Are you getting poked by your own thoughts to now break your rules? All right, so guess what? The breaker played out. It took absolutely forever. It took forever, but it finally hit the target. ES didn't make, it's like its strength just disappeared. Crazy. I wouldn't mind that. Hey, if you appreciate that little commentary, that insight, hit the like button for me. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. Means a lot. So here's what I'm expecting for today, folks. Not the like on the chat. Hit the like on the video, because then it shows up to the YouTube algorithm. That's the one that matters. That's the one that matters. Thanks. Mo, thanks. I know it's funny. When you're a content creator, it's like you try to get all of that, all of the engagement and stuff. You try to. And like I said before, guys, Apex does have an 80% off. Out of all of the prop firms, so I was approached yesterday. If you were here yesterday, I was approached on stream of somebody that's starting a prop firm, and they want me to be an affiliate for them. I don't know. I mean, they emailed me. I emailed back and I said, hey, I'm willing to test it out, but I'm going to give my honest opinion, period. I will always give my honest opinion, regardless of if you're asking me to promote something or not. I will always give my honest opinion. And with that said, my honest opinion out of all of the platforms, I have these 3 platforms because I think they add value in some way. Here's the ways I think they add value. Apex, if you're a brand new trader, by far the best option, cheapest. Because the probability of you passing your first eval account is very low. I'm just being honest with you. It's very low. So if it's very low that you pass your eval account, then the goal is to get the cheapest eval account. That is Apex. You can get a $25K account for $29, a $50K account for $33 right now with the code DTJ. Okay, let's move it up a step. Let's say you've passed several accounts. Okay, and you're like, you know what? I know that I can pass my eval account. I want the cheapest option now based on passing my eval account. That, in my opinion, is Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader is $120, and that's it. $120, and there's no activation fee. It's 30% off, and that's with the 30% off. It's $120. You can get your eval account. You have to make $3,000. Once you make $3,000, they graduate you to their pro account, and then their pro account, you can withdraw. This is the best feature in my opinion. You can withdraw right away. So let's say on day 1 of your account, of your pro account, if you make $500, you can withdraw $500. Apex, you have to wait 8 days. Okay? So I will say this. When you're in your pro account, you do have to meet your minimum threshold, which is also $3,000, and then anything above that, you get a keep. So that, in my opinion, is best for traders that know they can pass an eval account. Now, Tradify is like the, what would you call it? It's like the in-between. It's like the modified version of both of those accounts. If you don't want to do a eval account and you're like, that is just a waste of my time. I don't want to trade an eval account. I already know I can pass it, and I'm consistent, and I know I'm consistent, and I can build my account. Well, then you can skip the eval stage, and you can go straight to a funded account with Tradify. You can do a straight to funding account. And that allows you to start making money right away. They have rules that you have to follow. You have a minimum threshold of making $1,500 before you can make any type of withdrawal. But at least you're in a funded account immediately. Obviously, they're more expensive for skipping all of that, but you can get a 30% off discount with DTJ as well. So those are why those 3 are up there right now, because I see the value for different stages for different people at different times, because not everybody is at the same stage. Now, if you're like, forget that, I want to max leverage everything that I can, well, then that answers Apex. Apex is the only prop firm that allows you to copy trade up to 20 accounts. 20 accounts. That means on 20 accounts, a $200 day is a $4,000 profit. I mean, that's the problem. The possibilities with that is endless. So you have several different options if you're not wanting to trade your personal account. But I figured I'd share that with you to give you an idea what your options are. Byron, I probably done something wrong. I canceled my TradingView and I'm using TradeVate for free now and Top Step for free with them. No, you're not. TradeVate, if you don't have a prop firm, if you're using TradeVate, as long as you have a some type of prop firm account connected to TradevAte, you can get free. You can use it for free, yes. But if you don't have an eval account anymore with a prop firm, you will have to pay for data on TradevAte. But that's totally fine. You could totally do that. Let's take a look at the chart, see what's coming. We've literally done nothing. Look at this slow climb. We took the breaker right here, suffered a little bit of drawdown, just barely, and then for the next 17 minutes we consolidated, then we pushed higher. That's for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes of like boring price action. This is a sign of news coming later today. So if I was you, I would not trade right now. I think there's wisdom in not taking a trade here. Oh, still long. For some reason, when I took it the first time, it filled me 400 negative right off the bat. Never seen that before. Interesting. I have no idea, Byron. Yeah, EMAC, 2 o'clock, Fed speaks. No, I don't. Fireman? No. After news, I'm looking for a trade. At least, I mean, for some prop firms, you can't trade the minute before, the minute during, and the minute after. So basically, if news is at 10 o'clock, at 10:02, I'm willing to take a trade. Some prop firms don't even care. You can trade whenever. Apex doesn't care. They don't care. As long as it's not windfall trading. So as long as you're not just making exuberant amount of profits because of a news candle. Yeah, EMAG, its price is going to for sure move. If I'm looking at the market on where does it want to go from a 15-minute perspective, we have these relatively equal highs here, and then we have the previous day low down here. That's really what I want to see. And my guess with FOMC, more than likely, he's not going to do what Trump wants. He's probably not going to lower interest rates. And if he doesn't lower interest rates, we're going to see this. Boom. We will see this volume imbalance tagged. That's my opinion. Now, sometimes the market will do the complete opposite just because it can. This is why we don't try to predict where where price is going to go. Jeff, we'll see you, my friend. We'll be back on here again tomorrow at 9:15. Well, way to go, Byron. Way to go, my friend. So, I mean, look at the overlapping candles here. Every single wick overlaps the previous candle. Okay? So, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of what the market's doing right now. Honestly, we took the best option we had, and it was poor in its execution. It ended up hitting it. I would have still been in a trade if I did not close it early. I got long right here. I think it was right around there. My target was that, and my stop loss was just below that right there. I apologize, guys. I do need to answer this phone call here. Sorry about that, folks. But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. The market did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Oh, and my wife's coming down, so most likely I'm going to have to go. So, give me 1 minute. Folks, we're going to call it a day here. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll be back on stream tomorrow at 9:15. We're going to just cut it early. Sorry about that. God bless you guys. Stay safe, and we will see you all tomorrow. God bless.